7 o'clock, leave at 6 o'clock. He has a backup plan ready, which means that he has to be on time every time, as the tagline given to the Dabbewalas. So time management is the first mantra, the first lesson that we as women entrepreneurs can learn from the Dabbewalas. And there are times we tend to underestimate the value of this. We tend to underestimate the value of this. So if you really wish to lead a stress-free life, if you wish to reach out to your customers, if you really wish to do your marketing and branding the best way possible, the beginning is time management. The next one, ladies and gentlemen, is discipline. Now, as entrepreneurs, most of us know how to analyze and evaluate our clients. We evaluate our own employees. But how about customer evaluation? Now, what do Dabbewalas do? If they're standing in your residence and they're waiting for the Dabba to come, or they're standing at your door for the Dabba to come, and if you're late by 15 minutes, they won't carry your tiffin. If you're late by 15 minutes, and if this happens for four times in the same month, they will discontinue the service. Which means that they keep a record of your performance. They keep evaluating and examining their own customers, because customers eventually is their king. I told you, he says, the director says, the CEO says that for us, our customers are the Maharajas. And if these Maharajas are not disciplined, then the whole cycle is disrupted. So I made a point that they get the tiffin on time. And in case the customer is late for more than 4 times, the service is discontinued. Which means that discipline happens to be the most salient feature of the Dabbewalas. Without discipline, they would probably collapse as an organization. Some other aspects that we discussed, ladies and gentlemen, were the dress code. The dress code given to them, and all of them have to mandatorily adhere to the dress code. The other things that are being banned, be drinking, be smoking, things being banned. If you will leave if you take a leave from the from the whole system, even for one day, you're supposed to let them know a day in advance. So prior intimation is equally important. If you are not able to intimate them prior, a day before your leave, probably you'll be fired the next day. Or you will be given a hefty fine. You have to give a hefty fine. Which means discipline is being portrayed, is being displayed at every single step of the way the Dabbewalas work. The next one, ladies and gentlemen, staying true to your purpose. Now, interestingly, most of these Dabbewalas are the devotees of LEW. And as we know, that LEW gave a lot of importance to serving food to people. So for them, their purpose is serving food. For them, it's all about Annadan, which is Mahadan, is what they say. So for them, the core purpose is to deliver food, the best of food, the hygienic food, the home-cooked meal at their customers' doorstep with a lot of passion and enthusiasm. And that's exactly what this third mantra is. Staying true to your purpose. Now let's go back to organizations, to our businesses. How many of us are able to stay true to our purpose? Maybe you began your business with the intention of something, and today your purpose is absolutely different. How many of us have identified our core values? How many of us have identified our core competencies? And the biggest million-dollar question is, how many of us are able to stay true to that value till date? If you work 5 years, do you have the same mission every day? Do you get from your bed with the same mission? Are you fired up with the same vision? What exactly is the objective? Is your objective different from the vision that you had in your mind 5 years ago? Is your question. And if it's yes, you're going strong. If your answer is no, we've got to introspect. And the Dabbewalas give us a chance to introspect about our core values. Because we know that value creation and value delivery are one of the 5 mantras of a solid, robust, successful business organization. Let's understand that staying true to our purpose, as the Dabbewalas have been doing for the last 125 years, is the most essential takeaway from this presentation. The most essential takeaway. It's time for us to wake up from our deep slumbers and identify our value. The value of your business, the value that you're trying to create in the society. How are you impacting the world? How are you trying to wow your customers? Sometimes it's beyond money. It's about the relations you have with them. It's about the public relations that you share with them. You know, I remember a couple of weeks ago, I was standing outside Haldiram with a group of friends, and this boy comes to us, a small little kid who was begging from in the same area. He comes to us and he keeps nagging and keeps pulling out shirts and t-shirts, asking for a penny. And we were really having a serious discussion, and none of us were in mood to really take out a penny and give it to him. And he kept, pulling us. He kept nagging us. He kept irritating us. Out of sheer irritation, we were forced to, take a penny, maybe a 5 rupee coin, and give it to him. And all of us did that. So if I'm doing it, all of us were doing it together. And he got 25, 30 rupees, and very happily he goes back. And there were other kids who came to him running, trying to snatch the money he got, because lots of money, at one go. They were trying to snatch those coins from him. He refused. He kept them safely. And at the end of the road, he goes to his brother. And brother, "Kahan chale gaya?" I mean, that's exactly what we interpreted from that conversation. He says, he pointed towards us. Looks like a nice party. If you try your hand, maybe they'll give you some more coins. And both of us can get rich for the day. And the boy comes to us, his brother, his younger brother comes to us. Now, a very simple, a very basic story that actually gives us the basic business mantras. Number one, persistence pays. Persistence pays. And that's exactly what value is, staying true to your purposes. Persistence to be one of your purposes. If you're really persistent, your work gets done. You know that you wouldn't go back empty-handed. You're taking back values with you. You're taking back, something along with you. So staying persistent. Number two, he knew how to safeguard his amount. He knew how to safeguard his, his earnings from other people, from the rivals. And today, that's exactly where we go wrong. We are able to safeguard our earnings sometimes, because we do not know the ways to invest them, or the ways to save them, or the ways to spend them. The third one was public relations. Telling his younger brother to go and target this audience, they're your beneficiaries, go target them. That's public relations, right? So some of the basic things that we really can learn from these street businesses, from some local people, from these people around us. You don't have to go to a business school to learn management and business. There are times when these management mantras can be learned and imbibed and taken from small stories, small people whom we really don't value, whom we take a pinch of salt. The fourth one, ladies and gentlemen, is loving your job. The question is, do you really wake up in the morning with a sense of excitement and passion, exuberance, ebullience, saying, "I'm ready for this day"? If you do that, you love your job. If you don't, then you change your job right away. Let's understand that life is short, and doing something you don't like is a bad idea. It's not nice. It's time for us to understand that the biggest takeaway that we can take from the Dabbewalas is loving your job. Because Dabbewalas, they serve 2 lakh customers every year because they love doing it. There have been times, of course, they may be doing it out of sheer obligation and responsibility, but they claim to have said that we are the devotees of Pittsburgh, and for us serving people is our prime responsibility, and they do it lovingly. And that's the reason I talked about the value-added services they provide to you, because we love serving people, and that's what we need to do, loving our job. Try doing what you love. Try loving what you do. And that's the mantra that Dabbewalas teach us today. So no matter what you do, whether you're a homemaker, or an entrepreneur, or an emerging entrepreneur, or the first generation entrepreneur, or a third generation entrepreneur, or a successful business person, or an established businesswoman, no matter what you do, no matter where you come from, we all need to understand today that loving our job is the most miraculous thing we could do today. Because eventually, the most splendid things in the world have been achieved by the people who believe in looking beyond the ordinary, who believed in looking beyond the normal, who believed in looking beyond the status quo. And this journey begins with falling in love with what you do, falling in love with the way you deal with your customers, falling in love with your network, falling in love with your branding and strategies, falling in love with your marketing, falling in love with your organizational structure. If you're not happy, make sure you change it. The last one, ladies and gentlemen, is teamwork. Now, what exactly is teamwork all about? Teamwork is all about your network. It's all about your social skills. It's all about your people skills. It's all about the way you're dealing with your team. It's all about how value flows from the apex to the rock bottom. It's about how the structure is built. And we know that this begins at the bottom level, at the grassroots level, at the foundational level. And if you're able to work at the foundational level, I believe you become unbeatable, unstoppable, invincible. And that's what Dabbewalas are saying. They're the most unbeatable organization because they believe in the power of teamwork. They know that each employee is an asset. They know that each employee is an investment. They know that even if one Dabbewala remains absent without information, even if one Dabbewala gets late, the whole system is disrupted. They know it. They understand it. They value it. And so today they are the leaders in logistics and supply chain management. Not being studied just in India, but being an epitome of excellence in management across the world. There are people who've raised the Indian flag because most of the people who've been studying the case study of the Dabbewalas are not Indians. Harvard University very recently incorporated the whole study of the Dabbewalas as a part of their management studies, which is incredible. The last one is the teamwork, ladies and gentlemen. Please make sure that today when we go back to our organizations, to our business, whether you're an employee or an employer, you know the value of these 5 mantras. You know that time is money. You know that discipline can make or break your career. You know that staying true, identifying and then staying true to your purpose can add a lot of meaning and purpose to your own life in return. It's always a two-way street. When you do something out there, going out of your comfort zone and trying to go beyond the ordinary, in a way you're bettering your own self. You're improving your own well-being. And that's exactly what a true, perfect, peaceful management is all about. The next one is loving your job every single day. Every single day. And the last one is the teamwork. Trying to strengthen your team, your organization, by investing your time, energy, resources, potentials, everything, just to make it a grand success is the need of the hour. That's all from my side, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your patient listening.
अगर कुछ और आप लोगों को पूछना है तो आप पूछ सकते हैं, कुछ इंटरैक्टिव सेशन करना है, कुछ और इंफॉर्मेशन आपको अगर चाहिए, यू कैन ऐड. हाँ, या चैट क्लियर एवरीथिंग. But
maybe it is already attached or that if we consider that option as a sideline, for example, as an employer in some other corporate, then what techniques we can learn as an employer of Dabbewalas to keep their all these 5 lakhs, all their employees happy? What makes them retain from 12-year-old boy to 19? And that's miraculous, but what techniques we can learn? Apart from yes, and also what makes us retain and make our employees. They are blessed people to have such type of employees.
Absolutely. All right, so as an employer, I believe that the greatest thing that we could do for others to look up to and emulate is to be an example for them. An example of what? Example for the 5 mantras. The 5 mantras that we've taught. So maybe just teaching your employees the value of time management कि आप समय पे आओ. या सिर्फ आप अपने employees को सिखा रहे हो कि आप अपने purpose के साथ जुड़े रहो. आपको जानना है क्या करना है, आपको think to your purpose. और सिर्फ आप सिखा रहे हो कि आपको you have to love your job. Try loving your job. Love the work you do. और simply teaching them कि आप सभी का एक साथ जुड़ के एक साथ मिलकर काम करना बहुत जरूरी है और आप वही चीज नहीं कर रहे हो. Then that's exactly how we create an imbalance. You know, so I wouldn't go beyond this because the answer lies here. The answer to your question lies in presentation, and that is practice what you preach. Practice what you preach. Example is always better than precept. So please, let's all endeavor that we actually do those things rather than telling our people to do that. That's the best thing that we could learn as employers and make our employees fall in love with us every day.
I think as you said in the beginning of the session that each employee has their share. That is the reason I think we have to
Share of?
money
Absolutely, absolutely. So normal Dabbewalas is able to earn. Absolutely, absolutely. So they
have created a sense of belongingness.
Yes,
absolutely,
One of
ma'am.
the reasons why they are working.
So what
they are
kind of
not
tax
getting
is
simple
perfect?
salary, they also get the benefit of the turnover from the shared edge.
Well, that wouldn't be the case because they do get a very good salary every month.
How much?
Around 8 to 10,000.
One Dabbewalas.
Yeah, one Dabbewala. So that's the salary, the 8 to 10 Dabbewalas. Imagine the people who have absolutely no education qualification. People who've never thought of working in an organization. They're able to earn 10,000 rupees every month. What else do you need? I mean, for them, it's cherry on the cake. For them, it's a huge achievement. And they're very happy with the job because they do get time for part-time job as well. They're able to make good relations with people. They're able to spread sunshine and light. And as Anita ma'am just mentioned, sense of belongingness is what they have for the organization. Sense of belongingness is the bottom line probably. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
But you said that even if 15 minutes, like if continuously 4 times this happens, so in case they are late by 15 minutes,
Okay.
so how do they manage time in that case?
They always keep spare time with them. So if there's, for example, they're supposed to deliver dabba by 1 o'clock, before 1 o'clock, they'll make sure that just to avoid these hassles, you know, these glitches, they leave early. So for example, if it's raining, they'll not leave by 7, they'll leave at 6 o'clock from their place, that they reach on time. Or maybe they, for example, to reach at 1 o'clock, they're supposed to collect the tiffin from 9. So maybe they collect by 8:50. To keep some spare time, you know, some buffer, so that they can avoid all these inefficiencies later on. So the B plan is always ready. So B plan in terms of bicycles, B plan in terms of the cars, extra cars, anything. They have the B plan ready so that the efficiency is not hampered in any way. Any questions? Well, there are two things. If there's run of questions, or you understood everything, or you haven't understood anything.
I would like to just add on something.
Yes, ma'am.
That whatever you have projected, that the cost which a person pays for hiring the services is 200 per month, but it is more than that.
Yeah,
It becomes 350.
Because 12 years ago, I had hired the services and I was paying 300 12 years ago.
Okay.
So the earnings for the Dabbewalas, for those 2 lakh of dabbas, is much more than this project.
Right. So,
And they have a very, like, they share per se.
It must be depend on the distance they travel. na?
absolutely. That's the point. The distance they cover. So they take in consideration the distance they have to cover. You know, in the morning, so distance in terms of to and fro. That's what determines the cost. So it could begin with 200, it could end at 600 also.
Yes.
Generally 350 to 400. Generally 350 to 400 for you know, medium distance, moderate distance. So distance is what determines the cost of the dabba.
I feel all of them have one thing in common. They all are good human beings with wonderful spiritual faith. So
Absolutely. And you generally see these people with a tikka, which means that most of them, a major chunk of them, they begin their day with a prayer. You know, absolutely. Because they believe in being Maratha warriors eventually. So if they're serving people through food, for them that's worship. Work is worship. So begin their day with a prayer, and then they wear the uniform with the tikka, and then they leave their places. So again, a deep sense of spirituality in them, which is the foundation to their successful days.
And they also have a stress buster. When they're traveling in the local, that time they're always, you know, chanting their bhajan. So that is the greatest stress buster.
Absolutely. Any questions?
Any questions? Or should we proceed further? Okay.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for your patience and enthusiasm. And it's been an honor speaking to all of you today. I hope you take back all the lessons with you and impact the world around you. Thank you so much and have a great life ahead.
Thank you, Ms. Karen.
Very big thanks to Ms. Swarna MS for a wonderful, enthusiastic lecture, and it was a very big learning. And I think everybody had taken many good management lessons from the beautiful case studies and beautiful stories and her personal stories and Dabbewalas stories. It was wonderful session. I think you all enjoyed it. And the main takeaway I should what we learned was the Dabbewalas management lessons. I think that the main takeaways are time management, then discipline, then staying true to your job, loving your job, and teamwork. These major 5 are the big takeaways from today's session. And I would request our immediate past president, Ms. Shashi Malik, to present
Thank you.
Before we proceed for the vote of thanks, I would request Ms. Rita Gandhivar to make some announcements.
There are some announcements. The most awaited Udyojika exhibition is starting on 30th of September and it will be up to the 3rd of October. And stall booking for Udyojika is 29th August, Wednesday at 2 p.m. Please note you all. And you must have received that form and advertisement paper also. You go through it. For Udyojika booking, stall booking, we are keeping 6 boxes for different categories this time. That will be described during the stall booking. This year we are unveiling a souvenir during Udyojika, and for that we will be needing advertisements. And for the dates of the advertisements, I think they have distributed to you. So you go through it and you can contact our past president Neelam for advertisements. Next month's program is on 21st September, 3 p.m. Thursday. It will be an open forum, that is interactive session, a brainstorming session with all the members knowing what they expect from LEW and getting their ideas of businesses from them. So we will be circulating the circulars and you will get to know that. And after this program, there will be a session on cherry on the cake. अभी मैम ने बोला है तो मैंने उसको change कर दिया. Cherry on the cake, value addition to our products and our businesses. This will be an half-an-hour session by Dr. Abhijit Agache. The program will be on 21st of September, 3 p.m. और मैं सभी से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी कि those who have paid the membership fees, not paid the membership fees, please pay it at the office. And नए members भी membership ले लीजिए so that you can get the messages throughout the year. And we are taking so many useful programs that they are very beneficial for you, and you will get the messages if you take the membership. So please renew your membership, or those who are new, you take the membership. So I request Meenal to take the proceedings.
I request our secretary, Ms. Manisha, to please come here for the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Meenal. All the distinguished dignitaries, good evening, one and all. First of all, I would like to give thanks to Rita ma'am for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, Rita. On behalf of LEW, it is my proud privilege to propose vote of thanks to take this opportunity on this very first program of this tenure. I take this opportunity to express my sincere thanks to Swarna ma'am for graciously accepting our invitation and consenting to be the guest speaker of today's program. Thank you, Swarna ma'am, for your informative, motivational and inspirational talk. I extend my sincere thanks to the guest speaker, Mr. Rahul Nagar, for his informative session. My heartfelt thanks to our President, Rita Ma'am, our advisory committee members, all past presidents and all executive committee members for giving their valuable time. I am very happy to express my sincere thanks to Minal for conducting this program so beautifully. On behalf of LEW, I express my sincere thanks to the members, VI office staff and all present here. We always remain grateful to the press media for their constant support and coverage. Thank you very much. I would request everyone to please proceed for writing. Thank you.
थैंक यू एवरीवन. और जिनको भी स्टॉल बुक करना है प्लीज नोट कीजिए 29 अगस्त 2 PM इज स्टॉल बुकिंग डे. और उद्योग जी का एग्जीबिशन 30 सितंबर से स्टार्ट हो रहा है. तो और एडवर्टाइज ओके यू कम एट 1 o'clock फॉर स्टॉल बुकिंग बिकॉज देयर आर सम फॉर्मेलिटीज टू बी कंप्लीटेड. और जो लोगों का एडवर्टाइजमेंट देना है प्लीज अपने सोवेनियर के लिए एडवर्टाइजमेंट हम लोग चाहेंगे. जो देना चाहते हैं आप प्लीज कांटेक्ट कीजिए. रेट्स आप लोगों को पता चल गया है ना, सब कुछ डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर दिया है वैसे. फॉर फुल पेज ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट इट्स 4000 प्लस GST दैट इज 4720. And for half page black and white, it's 2000 plus 360 is 2360. And for full page color, it's 5000 plus 900 is 5900. And for half page color advertisement, it's 2500 plus 450, that is 2950. Size of the full page is 18 by 26 centimeter and half page is 18 by 13 centimeter. And checks, if you can give cash and also check in favor of Vidarbha Industries Association payable at Nagpur. And if you have a GST number, you please inform during booking so that you can get the GST input tax. वो जो उसका अवेल कर सकते हैं आप. So please inform us. Thank you very much.